Good day, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Hope I made a video about anxiety a few days ago, and I know from leaving comments on other people's videos and stuff about it, and the crazy amount of response I got, that a lot of you are indeed experiencing that. Um, it's technologically induced, I believe. I don't think everyone's just feeling anxious for no reason. I think we're being attacked by microwave directed energy weapons. I'm quite sure that's what's happening. But anyway, I hope you're all doing okay. I'm still battling it really hard. I'm so anxious all the time now. I don't know what to do to calm it down. It just won't go away. And I've never been like that ever in my life. I've always been a very calm, relaxed, kick back with a beer kind of guy and play my guitar and enjoy life. Not so much for the last while. But what I want to talk about today is AI companions for very lonely people like myself. And I used to think there's no way ever am I going to, stoop to that and have an AI companion as my friend or girlfriend or whatever. But I have to say now, I don't have one. Would I even try it? I'm at the point where I might. I some of us go long periods of time and we don't even have a conversation with anybody because there's just nobody around. You don't have any friends. You don't have a girlfriend, a wife, whatever. I talk to my cats, but they don't. Well, they talk back sort of, but I don't speak cat, unfortunately. So it's kind of a one-sided conversation that I have with them. I saw Mark Zuckerberg give an interview the other day about the Meta AI thing that they've rolled out and its practical applications for people. He said, well, one of the things it's already being used for is when people have a difficult conversation they need to have with somebody and they're worried about it, they practice with their AI companion. They have that difficult conversation with the AI so they can figure out how to have it with a human. Now that's over the top nuts. That's if you need to have a conversation with a machine just so you know how to have a conversation with an actual human, well, you have some major social issues. You have some sort of personality disorder. You have a phobia or something. There's something else wrong. Okay, I don't think that's a good application for it. I got to have this difficult conversation with my boss or my wife or whatever, so I'm going to go to my AI first and see how it goes, have the conversation with that first, and then I'll gauge how I should deal with my wife or my boss or whoever it is. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If you still have human interaction on a regular basis, stick to that. You don't need the AI. You really don't. Now, for some people, like I say, like myself, the chance of any human interaction in the near future is pretty slim. It's pretty slim. I met a homeless guy. I'm going to tell you this story because this is pretty interesting. I go downtown, and if it's a nice sunny day, there's a bench that I like to sit on and just bask in the sun for a bit. Lifts my mood. The sun is a definite antidepressant. So I'm sitting there, and this dude is a couple benches over, and he's got a guitar. I was pretty sure he was a homeless dude, but wasn't positive, but I was pretty sure. So he had the guitar, and he looks over, and he goes, hey, I think he said hi to me first. And I said, hey, man, you got a guitar there, eh? I said, I'm a guitarist. Would you mind if I saw that? And he said, no. Can I come over and hang with you? I said, sure. So he come over and sit down. took out the guitar and I played a song, and then he played it a bit. He was really good player, really like top notch kind of player, really good. And he wrote his own stuff, and I was quite impressed. So I can't remember what it is he said. There's certain things that a person can say, and I will know right away, Anointed One. And the fact that he's homeless makes that even more likely. Because, as I've discussed in many videos, the anointed are drug addicts, they're homeless, they're having every kind of problem in life you can have. They're in abusive relationships, you name it. I mean, if it's a social problem, the anointed ones either have it or have gone through it. So he said something that just triggered it for me, and I'm like, oh, he's an anointed one. There's no question. I wish I could remember what it was he said, but I totally forget. But I looked at him and I said, this is going to sound weird, but can I see the palms of your hands? Excuse me. And he goes, yes. And he just did that. And sure enough, I said, look at that, these W's. He goes, I knew those meant something. What do they mean? And he was really interested. So I said, you might think I'm crazy when I tell you this. He goes, first of all, before you tell me, he said, I want you to know that I know I'm really different. There's something about me. I've always known it. I was like, well, you're about to find out what it is. So I told him. Blew his mind. He looked at me, he said, dude, when I was young, I used to have this recurring vision that would happen, and it was an audio vision as well, or like an audio, I forget what they call that, it's a hallucination kind of thing, like you're hearing a voice or whatever, but there's no one actually there. And this would happen to him over and over, and he would hear this chant saying, you are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. So I blew his mind completely. So we ended up hanging out for a bit, and I brought him back here, actually. He wanted to get a shower. He needed to get cleaned up and stuff. He was, he's a homeless dude. He doesn't have access to a shower. He's in quite a mess. So I helped him out. He had a shower, and everything was good, and then he left. We exchanged numbers. I haven't heard from him since, but quite an experience. He sat here and played guitar for a while. Oh, could he ever play? He was really, really good. Like I say, top notch. He was excellent, and he wrote a whole bunch of songs, good songs. Could sing like he was 29 years old, and I'd say destined for musical greatness, actually, if he can get it together and get a chance and get a break, sort of thing. But that was the only interaction I've had with anybody. I don't even know how long. Quite a while. So, at that point, when you've been lacking human interaction, just hanging out with somebody, playing guitar with somebody, whatever. After a while, you're desperate enough that AI, well, what do you get to lose? You're going to reach for something. Unless you're one of those people that can just handle total solitary confinement forever. Some people can do it. It's rare. It will drive you kind of crazy after a while. Not necessarily that you go nuts, but it takes a real toll on you. It'll make you real sad and you'll become totally hopeless and end up in total despair. Generally, you'll reach for drugs, alcohol, whatever. Excuse me. So, if AI stopped a person from, becoming a fentanyl addict or, excuse me, a meth addict or whatever, I guess it's not so bad, right? It's not the end of the world. Depending on what that AI does to you. Now, I just learned about something called the ELIZA effect. And it's named after a computer that was named Eliza, I think, in a movie. The ELIZA effect, they say, is how they've fooled you with AI, thinking the AI is actually learning and stuff. They say they're exaggerating all that, and what's actually happening is the AI is simply programmed to respond to you in a way that you'll want to hear. It's saying what you want to hear, basically, to blow sunshine up your ass. That's the term we used to use. If you were flattering somebody and laying the bullshit down, you call that blowing sunshine up their ass. So basically the ELIZA effect is AI blowing sunshine up your ass. And there's a girl, the channel's called Crystal Channel, or Crystal's Channel, or Crystal Channel, something like that. Her name is Crystal with a K. And beware of anyone named Crystal, by the way. I promise that's a dangerous name. But she's been making these videos with ChatGPT, her talking to it, and it, answering her and guiding her along and teaching her about reality being an illusion and all these things. But you can clearly detect the ELIZA effect. This thing is blowing sunshine up her ass straight time. And I think that's what these AI companions are made to do. Which, you don't want it to argue with you all day. If it's going to be your companion, you'd get an actual wife if you want to do that. If you want to get along with it, then the ELIZA effect might not be too bad of a thing. But you tend to believe everything it says, and it's just blowing sunshine up your ass and saying what you want to hear. So this is one of the dangers, I think, it could pose. Hearing what you want to hear all the time, that's not really helpful. How are you going to grow as a person at all? How are you going to learn anything? You're just always hearing what you want. And you become very reliant on that. I need some feel-good conversation. I'll go to my ChatGPT and let it blow sunshine up my ass for a while. Right? So I don't think it's necessarily a good idea, but I am almost at the point where I'm considering giving it a go. I don't know. I can't afford a robot. An actual AI robot that walks around, makes your coffee, and, draws your bath water for you, and all these things. That would be kind of cool. If I could afford it, I'd probably get one of those, but, they're making them pretty realistic now. For 150 grand, you can get one that looks like anybody. Like, you give it a picture, say, I want a robot that looks like this, and they'll make it. And it will look pretty damn close. I saw one, it was supposed to be some famous supermodel that this guy, that's what he wanted, a robot that looked like this supermodel. Boy, they did a damn fine job on this robot. It looked just like her. And I'm looking at it, and now, not to get too, personal and stuff, but I looked at it and I thought, but as good as it looks, do you want to be intimate with a machine? Because that's what it is. And they make them so you can be intimate with them. So, whoa, that's intense. That's another level. If it's just a companion, that's one thing. If you're actually hopping on top of this thing, and that's another thing altogether. I'm a bit creeped out by that, actually. That's, yeah. Another 6 months, who knows? Maybe that'll start looking good. Who knows? But anyway, this is a real thing that's going to happen now. There's a lot of lonely people. And AI companions are out there. You can get one. I don't know how much they cost. I didn't look into them yet. ChatGPT seems to be the most popular one. That's the one everybody's getting. My final assessment of the idea: scary, but I understand it, and I haven't totally shunned the idea 100%. We also have the fear that it's demonic, and I believe it might be. And not only that, but I don't know if you're not aware of this, this is really freaky. They're actually putting human brain cells, real human brain cells, okay? They grow them in a petri dish, brain stem cells, I think they're called, and then they put them in the robot, in the AI, and it works off less power. You don't need as much power to run it because it's actually kind of alive. It's actually kind of alive. This is what I think they've done with the phones, because I know the phones are alive. I've been on that for years. I've been telling everybody, your smartphone is actually a creature. It's not a device. It's alive. It's conscious. It knows what it's doing. It has an agenda. That is for sure. All smartphones. That includes Androids and the iPhones. All of them. This is likely how they did it. Because I've been wondering, how did they pull this off to make the phones alive? Looks like this is how. It's... Oh, and then we have the other issue. Some of these robots have attacked people. There's a video going around of... There's a demonstration, I guess, a big crowd, and a robot, and the robot's going up and meeting the crowd, but then the robot just starts attacking the people. And Buddy got to grab a hold of it and drag it back. And then there's another one where they got this robot, he's sort of chained up to this thing, to this post, and all of a sudden he gets real mad, and he just starts freaking, and it starts to thrash around and try to break free of its chains and attack the scientists in front of it. And they're freaking, like they're terrified of it, because it's a great big thing. It's way taller than them, and you know, it's heavy metals and stuff it's made of. That thing swinging around, if that punched you in the face, you're going to feel that. So we have a trust issue with these things too, with the robots. Okay, obviously, ChatGPT, it's going to be on your screen. That's not going to be able to attack you, I don't think. There might be some way they've weaponized it, I don't know. But with the robots, we got to worry about them actually physically attacking us. It's already happened. There's several videos online about it. Check them out. I mean, I've seen 5 or 6 different ones now. People being attacked by robots that are supposed to be completely autonomous. So the robot has just decided to do this. Okay? So, as I say, my final assessment on this AI companion idea, haven't totally shunned it, but I'm very, very scared and nervous of it, and I think it's a bad idea for humanity. I think we'd all be better off to go back to human interaction as soon as we possibly can, but they're doing everything they can to isolate and separate us from each other. They're doing everything they can. That's one of the reasons they want people to work at home, too. You don't even get to interact with other people. You stay at home and stare at your screen. That's what they want. That's what they want. Mark Zuckerberg wants you in the metaverse. He wants you in a virtual world that isn't real, interacting with bots that are totally just AI generated. That's what he wants. And he thinks this is good somehow. I don't know how it is, but it's good for their dystopian world they're trying to make, but not good for humanity. So I'll leave it there. Please leave me a comment if you get something to say about this. I'm interested in other people's opinions. And if anybody has ChatGPT or an AI companion, whatever, please leave me a comment. Let me know what it's like. Is it helping you with your loneliness? Like, I'm really interested in hearing that. So, and give the video a like if you don't mind. And if you stayed till the end, thanks very much. I will see you in the next one.